How smooth is that?
It's as smooth as a pantry sliding door that's just been fixed by Adam. There comes a time in everyone's life when you've just got to experiment a little.
I'm all about the grasses, but there's not a buffalo, kikuyu or cooch in sight.
Come for the home and garden, get lost in the view.
The kitchen. It's the heart of any home, which means it's a high traffic area. And with that comes a lot of wear and tear. So I bet there's a few jobs around your kitchen you've been putting off on fixing. Like this cavity slider. It's on a massive angle and it doesn't even move. Now, it's a very common problem. The first thing you need to do is expose the screws and take this cover plate off. I'm now just going to go around the perimeter of this cover plate to break the paint seal. With that off, we can now see the mechanics of this door. So we have a top track and we have our wheels. Now, if we look at the angle of this door, it's telling me that this back roller is either off the track or it's broken. So now I'm going to have a bit of a fight with the door to try and get it out of this pocket. I can see the problem already. There's not even a roller on there. Oh my gosh, this is a bit tight. Now, it's a matter of just removing this damaged roller by undoing these two screws. Cavity sliders come with different rollers, so if you're not sure which one to get, just take it down to the hardware store with you and match it up. With this slider, you can keep the bracket and you can just buy the roller in a single pack, which means I'll take this bit out first and then I can just slide the new wheel in and do up the nut. Pretty easy. With the new roller on, we can now fit this bracket back to the door. Now's the fun part, getting this heavy door back in the pocket. What could possibly go wrong? You want to start by slipping the back in. Once you've lined it up with the cavity, you can then twist the door around and slowly it will start working its way into that pocket. Okay, now that comes around. Up, up, yes. Nice. Whew. All right. Oh, how smooth is that? With the door back on the tracks, running nice and smoothly, there's only one thing to do, and that's see how it hits up against the jamb. We can see that it's open down here, which means I need to lift this wheel up, which will close that gap down there. So that's what I'll do now, a bit of fine adjustment. That's a lot better. Now, just need to put the cover plate back on. So with the right know-how and some new rollers, you'll have your cavity slider rolling again. How good is that? Oh, before I go, can't forget my Aussie biscuits. I bet a lot of you can relate to this problem, an uneven corner cupboard door. How annoying is it? You see it all the time. Now, the problem is these corner cabinets, they've got two doors instead of one, so there's a lot more weight. And here we can see that this hinge has just had its day. There's no adjusting of this hinge trying to get it back in place. The whole mechanism inside is broken. So the easiest way is just to take this leaf off and then basically undo the screws. Now, I think a lot of the time why people put off fixing their cabinet door is they get confused on what hinge to get. So my advice is to take this with you to the hardware store and match it for exactly the same one. And that is what I've done here. So now I can just take this bit off, put the base plate on this door and put the hinge back up on this leaf. How easy is that? And it's a good idea if you're replacing the bottom one to do the top. That way they wear at the same time. The exciting bit, the hinges are replaced. We can now get this leaf back on. We can shut the door and see it work. Yeah, and then that happens. But that's okay, because these hinges are made to be adjusted. So with your screwdriver, you can turn these screws, get it right, we'll be looking new in no time. With a bit of patience, you'll finally get the door to where you need it. Let's try that. Oh, looks a lot better. My mother would be proud of me.
I'm talking about ornamental grasses, not lawn grasses. I mean, they're the same family, so same, but different. You know, they're really versatile. They come in small sizes all the way up to big ones. You can use them as standalone features or even as mass plantings. And here at Michael Cook Garden Design's very own private garden, it's got a pretty incredible display. One of my favourite things about ornamental grasses is when the sunlight hits them. Take a look at this light coming through here with the seed heads above the grass. It looks like fireworks going off. It's really, really dramatic. They're also really versatile when it comes to the different climatic conditions they can take. They can take it hot, they can take it cold. They like dry soil. There's even varieties that like wet soil. You can even grow grasses next to the coast. And because they're so versatile, they're perfect for next to a swimming pool. Wow, I really love how this miscanthus has been used on the corner of the garden bed just to soften it. And the contrast in texture to this English Buxus cloud hedge is really nice. Now, this variety is called Nepalensis. It likes a bit more moisture than the other miscanthus. And look at the flower heads on there. They're just like little painted brushes. It's amazing. Creating movement in the garden can be quite tricky. Plants are generally static and they need a lot of wind to get them to move. And that's just not comfortable to sit out in. Grasses, on the other hand, just need the slightest of breeze to move through them and you get this lovely movement. And when a plant moves like this, it makes your whole garden feel dynamic. This is Saccharum ravenae. It's related to the sugarcane, and what a spectacle it is. I mean, these flower spikes, they must be 3.5 meters up in the air. It's been used really cleverly here. It's at the end of the driveway, so it just draws you in. You could do the same at your garden, have it at the end, and it would help pull you through the space. Or you could have it after a bend. Imagine coming around a corner and seeing this absolute beauty. Really like this plant.
Now we can run away, babe. Wherever you wanna go. My heart is in your hand, just take me where you are, and we can go far now. Two hearts beating now, to the rhythm of one now.
Ornamental grasses look great in both the designer garden and the home space as well, and this is the spot we're going to be adding some to. Now, I know they're going to do really well here because you've got free draining soil because it's raised up. I have improved it with some compost to hold on to water and nutrients. I also know they're going to do really well because we've already got some great looking miscanthus here.
You know by now, and I'ma always love you 'cause it's you and I.
I'm using 4 main types of grasses in this garden bed. Along the back here, I've got Miscanthus transmoriensis. It ties in with the existing miscanthus and it's going to give us a bit of height and screening through here. I've then got 2 types of panicum. This one, which is called Rolstenbusch. Don't laugh. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, it's nice and full. It's got this lovely light seed head to it. It's not that funny, it's just how you say plants. And then this one's called Heavy Metal. It's much more upright in its growth. I love the blue with the purple. Those 3 are all exotics, and then I've got 1 native called Lamandra Little Con. Just gives a real punch of lime green foliage, which ties in with the Plectranthus at the front of the bed, so the whole thing feels like it was done at once. And yeah, I said thing at the end then, if you're going to really pick on the way I say things. This garden bed is obviously not all ornamental grasses. I've added lots of other stuff in, some to contrast, some to complement, but it all just sets the grasses off really nicely. Oriental pearls, they just give you a lovely green structure to the garden. And I've used Laura petalum because I love the purple colour, really picks up the panicum. I stole an idea from the earlier garden with these sedums. I just think they look nice, so I put them in. But then to tie those two together, use this really interesting foliage of the snowbush. Care for your ornamental grasses couldn't be easier. Once they're established, they're incredibly drought tolerant, especially if you've put down mulch. You'll only need to water them in the hottest of summer days. In cooler regions during winter though, this will completely die back. I tend to leave it in the garden because it gives you this lovely bronze colour and this sculptural element. And no matter what region you're in, come early spring, you want to chop them down to the ground. That way you're going to give space to all the fresh new growth coming through. When you go back year after year though, you want to make sure you cut them a little bit higher than the previous year. That way you're not going to damage the plant. And if you follow these really simple tips, you'll find that ornamental grasses don't have to be the supporting role in your garden, they can be the star.
The Blue Mountains just outside of Sydney is famous for its jaw-droppingly beautiful views to the south and east of Katoomba and the Three Sisters. But if you venture further west, you get a whole different perspective.
That's true, Jo. In fact, as you travel along the valleys, the soil gets richer, the farmlands take over, and then there are these cute little hamlets, all inviting you to stay. Now, we're on Mount York. Right below, in fact, is an amazing property filled with imagination and inspiration. I just can't wait to take you there.
Yeah, a home and a garden inspired by these spectacular views.
This is Hartvale. Unbelievably, just on 3.5 years ago, it was a vacant block of ground. Now look at it. It's an absolute little piece of paradise, created by Jennifer Edwards and Peter Cube. As you come through the garden, there's a real sense of joy, of freedom, of relaxation. And you know, I think the reason being, Jennifer is not a trained horticulturist. She's actually an acclaimed artist, so she's looking at everything as maybe a canvas. And she's not afraid to use really strong colours. Look at this beautiful soft lemon. This is Flagellus, it's the Cape Fuchsia. She's partnered it with this really strong salvia. In fact, the little sepals are almost black and the rich purple. And then the soft cream of the Sambucus, which is the elderberry at the back. Notice the heights are all sort of working as well. She's loving the beautiful salvias right across here. She's got them everywhere. And look at the posts. Now, husband Peter's very likely been out in a paddock, picked these up, put them in the ground, connected a bit of wire, and they've espaliered some apples. You see, there are no rules. That's why I love it. What a fantastic backdrop. So they're in the lee of this mountainside here, rolling down into the valley. When you've got a change of levels in a garden, a lot of people put in steps, but here they've created this beautiful sweeping lawn, which just gently takes you down. You don't even realise that you've actually dropped a metre or two. We've got catmint, salvia, and the Shasta daisy just on the edge of their display. There are a lot of new varieties of Shasta, by the way, doubles and triples. Some of them, there's no stamen in the centre, it's just a mass of petals. But I love the old ones, just simple, easy. But Japanese maples, look at these, you know. I noticed there are quite a few dotted around the garden, out in full sun. As long as you keep the roots nice and cool, which they've done with lots and lots of mulch. And then you've got Gowra. It's a wonderful old thing. You've got to watch out. It can spread a little bit and become a bit weedy, but it just, look at the way it picks up the breeze. With the salvias at the back and the Gowra at the front, it's just a joy. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
Good. How
Wow,
are you, Graham?
what a masterpiece. Now, I heard a bit of a rumour that all of this started with the purchase of a fridge.
Yes.
How did that come about?
We went to buy a fridge in Lithgow,
Right.
and we saw a block of land in the window.
Oh, you never look in real estate windows. That was a mistake.
We came to the front gate and we thought, yeah, it's okay. And then we walked across to the oak tree,
Yeah.
and we just fell in love with it.
3.5 years? I can't believe it.
Well, this part's actually only 4 months old.
Good gracious. These have got to be the tallest cosmos I've ever seen in my life. They're huge.
I do like a profusion of colour, things
Yeah.
coming up. I wanted the cosmos coming up amongst the tomatoes and the corn.
And the corn, did you get a good crop of sweet corn?
We did, but I think I left it too late. Cindy the cow got most of it. So these are the first 4 beds we did in the garden,
Yes, Jen, this is quite a different look because you've got the square beds here.
and we wanted it to just lead your eye straight to the view.
It does that. Look at the ridge right across in the distance. Other side of the valley. It's beautiful. Look at the bees on the sedum.
Yeah, they love it, don't they? I mean, I treat this like a giant canvas, basically. I love mixing the colours of the flowers and mixing the different shapes and sizes. And there has to be texture, and there has to be movement, you know, just like a painting.
You've got these great pops of colour. The marigolds, the rose is stunning. Look at the rose and the colour. You can get the perfume from here. And the floribunda heads, look, there's hundreds more to come.
Yes,
But look at the echinacea. That's just stunning,
great to paint.
aren't they? Do you paint these?
Yes, definitely.
Oh,
Definitely.
that's magic.
And it's such a pleasure and a privilege to work with nature.
You won't be looking at any more real estate windows.
No, we're going to stay here.
Good idea.
Fancy meeting you here.
You're only just ready.
Jen, I can see why you are never lacking for inspiration. Even this studio, everywhere you look is just beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I actually think it's the best spot in the whole place.
It's just such a calming space.
Yeah.
With the birds, the paintings, the scenery. Look at the echinacea. You just mentioned those in the garden. Look at them.
That's right.
There
There's a
they
bit of
are.
inspiration.
Wow, that's brilliant.
No wonder you're smiling so
Oh,
much.
I just love it. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, but you
It's
know what?
really clever.
A little birdie's told me that the house is just as impressive as the garden. And seeing you're the builder, I thought maybe, Pete, I could seal you away and we could actually have a look in there.
Sure, no worries.
Excellent. We'll leave Graham. I'm sure he's going to purchase that one.
Absolutely, I'm looking. Look at these beautiful. Look at the foxgloves.
We've ventured to the foothills of the Great Dividing Range to check out a unique property that's been inspired by the stunning scenery around it. Now, Graham has been blown away by what Jen's been able to achieve with her garden, so I'm itching to see what her partner Pete has done with their home. Hello.
G'day, Joe. How are you?
This is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. It is actually an industrial shed, but we've kind of created it into a house.
You might notice there's a shed from the back there, but you don't the second that you walk under this incredible awning. I mean, you've done a
Yeah.
lot to it.
Well, I've tried to have elements that kind of soften the
Yeah.
shed. The timber architraves.
Yeah. All recycled timbers, I see.
That's right. The green wall, you know, nice light fittings,
Yeah.
things like that.
Well, these were a great find actually because they were they were extra high.
Yeah.
And it gives the small light from inside the kitchen. Instead of 4 doors there, I've created some windows.
Oh, so they were 4 doors originally?
They were 4 doors originally, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's very clever. Everywhere I look, I see your handiwork. I mean, tell me about these behind us.
Well, these are wood boxes,
Yeah.
but they're actually portable wood boxes, so you can take these blocks out and it sits down on some wheels. I take the skirting off and then you can move it back without unloading all the timber.
That is genius.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what else you've done inside.
Okay, come and have a look.
Thank you. Oh, wow. God, this is amazing.
This section here is where we used to live, so that kitchen was inside that wall.
Oh, so you live just in that part here?
Yeah, that's right. I've lost some of my shed, but I think it's a great compromise.
Oh, it sure is. I mean, that's a gorgeous looking kitchen, but that actually looks like a pretty basic design to start off with.
It is. It's just, it's basically a Bunnings flat pack.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a budget kitchen.
Yeah.
But with some styling, it comes up pretty well.
And the kickboard, I've just noticed.
Yeah, again, that was Jen's insistence. I was going to just do a black board, but Jen said, let's keep the theme going.
I think it's the sense of space that's so impressive, and the fact that your eyes are drawn upwards, and you've made a feature of the ceiling. You don't see that too often.
Yeah, that's right. Well, with the ceiling, what we've done is kind of create a cutaway,
Yep.
which might look like the old shed. So I've used the recycled iron. It's hard to recreate that, so
Yeah.
you've just got to find the old stuff.
Is that Rio as your balustrade?
It is, yeah. So
Speaking
again,
of industrial, like...
yeah, again, you know, we're trying to break the rules here, I suppose.
Yeah. Again, I'm looking up. That's
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah, they were a great find. We've actually got 2 of those, one here and then one in the spare bedroom.
Right.
They go into the shed and you get ambient light coming through those windows. And we got them for $100 each, actually. They were a steal.
Wow, so did you have to do much to them?
Yeah, we did. We most probably spent about 2 or 3 days just chipping the old putty, which had gone off
Yep.
quite hard. And then we've reglazed them with a glass that we call granny glass.
Something about this home, everywhere you're looking out onto another bit of garden, and you kind of feel like you're actually not looking out, you kind of feel like you're part of it.
Yeah, well, that's the feel that we wanted to create. Like here in this lounge space,
Yeah.
well, it feels like we're sitting in the garden. We used kind of quite large windows to bring the outside in. And, you know, we've put these planter boxes right up against the
Yeah.
house.
Can't go wrong with stained glass windows at the end.
Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it?
I guess it helps having a partner who's an artist. I've noticed on every single wall there's all her magnificent works.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is another one of Jen's works.
Well, so what have you got over here?
This is just a little study nook. I've got a few of the pictures of some of the buildings that Jen and myself have built over the years.
Which is, I mean, they're all sort of period homes, so you really have got experimental with the shed conversion,
Yeah,
haven't you?
we've kind of given ourselves license to experiment a bit. Come through to the bedroom.
Oh, my goodness. I don't think I would ever get out of bed if I had a view like that.
Oh, the view's magic, yeah. And it's a changing landscape.
Gosh, it must be great to watch some storms coming in, does it?
It can get quite cold here.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get a bit of frost.
Okay.
We've got the fire downstairs, but we've also got like the flue coming up through here, which kind of gives us
Ambient heat
ambient
the whole time.
heat here, which is good.
And I see you've got another little project on the go down here, Pete.
Yeah, that's on the periphery of our view. Well, you can't actually see it from
Yeah.
your bed, but we've named the cottage Wren's Nest.
It's absolutely perfect.
Hopefully, we're going to be using it for a holiday let or family and friends to come and stay.
So other people can actually come here and enjoy this view as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Half
Yeah.
their luck. I've got to say, what you and Jen have achieved here is really remarkable. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
That's no worries.
Tell you what, you live in one beautiful part of the world, don't
Yeah,
you?
we love it.
The key thing to get right in any home is the circulation space, how we move through the building. And one thing we really have to consider when putting a second story on is getting the stairs right. In my opinion, they need to be celebrated. But they also need to be planned so they don't take too much room on either the top or bottom floor. Stairs need to be placed around the other circulation parts of the home, like at the front door. Or place your stairs where the room starts to transition into an open plan. Now, your stairs need to be at least 800 millimetres wide. The wider, the more impression they'll make. And depending on your ceiling heights, you'll need between 16 and 17 stairs to get from one floor to the next. A straight run of stairs in a home generally doesn't need a landing. But the look of your stairs really reflects the style of your home. Here we have expressed steel, which is almost like a steel backbone threading these levels together. Who doesn't love an old classic stair with a timber handrail, with stairs which wind round the landing, saving on space? Or a more contemporary design where lights can be concealed in the treads, highlighting the craftsmanship of modern design. Your stair and where it cuts through the building should also be considered a light well. And putting a skylight above it easily gets sunshine down into these lower levels. The other really important thing to remember is make sure your stairs try and hit the top floor plan somewhere in the middle. That means you cut down on the circulation space needed to get into these rooms. The choice of balustrading is really important. It affects the entire style of your stair. Now, a lot of modern homes are using glass, which is great for visual connection, but there is a problem. It's hard to keep clean and you lose the edge of your room. Let me explain what I mean. When you're sitting down in these upper levels, you still want a sense of containment, and that's what you get with a hard wall surface here like plasterboard. You still get visual connection, but it doesn't bleed at the edges like glass would give you. You just have a better sense of coziness. In terms of good architectural planning, getting the stairs right is the first step in achieving a successful upper story addition.
The 2017 AFL Grand Final. It's something Tiger fans all over Australia will never forget, particularly the family we're about to meet.
2017, the Tigers have got home for the first time in 37 years.
Danny Mick, tell me about the Richmond story. What happened?
So we were watching the grand final and the boys had been wanting a dog. So it was 2017 and silly me goes, OK, well, if Richmond wins, we'll get a French Bulldog and we'll call it Dustin Martin. They won. There's Dustin Martin.
All right, let's cut to the chase. I'm here because you sent me a video of your little Frenchie. Tell me what the problem is.
So the minute we're not home, he just jumps and jumps and jumps. He is constantly jumping on the fence. If he hears someone with a hose or with them in the pool or playing or whatever they're doing.
Let us go and take a look at your backyard and see what this fence situation is. And this is the fence.
That's the fence.
What's that? Markings down there, what's that?
That's him.
That's him chewing on it.
The dents are him.
So he's put a dent here.
Yep, where he puts his body.
There wouldn't be a spot anywhere along here that he hasn't had to go out, and he's physically pulled this back.
Exactly, yeah.
So Dustin will keep biting that and going that, and of an afternoon we'll come home and there'll be blood all on the edge of his mouth.
Let's go back. So how long after the final did Dustin arrive?
It was the 28th of October we picked him up.
That's right.
So he was about 10 weeks old.
Right.
We had another older cavalier then who he used to follow around and do everything with. So he was always with him. When he passed away, this got starting.
So what did you do?
So we tried the physical barrier. So two types, so one smaller, one higher. Then we tried the fence, the electric fence. And we've tried putting plants in place to stop him hitting the fence. There's so many things we've tried.
They just don't work.
Nothing's working.
Why do you think he doesn't?
He wants to see what's happening. He's nosy.
What you mean is that he wants to see what's going on.
Inquisitive.
Yeah, he wants to see what's
He's
going on next door.
inquisitive.
Yeah.
We want to see what Dustin does when we're not around. So we're watching him through the window. There's a few things I need to ask you about him, which sort of puzzle me. So he was perfectly normal until you lost your Cavalier. What was his immediate reaction?
He was sitting on the lounge and you could see he was just devastated. He sits on your lap for a cuddle, but this day he got up on my shoulder and he wrapped himself along the back of my chair and was around my neck, and he was just devastated.
Is he frightened of thunderstorms?
Yeah.
Yeah, they both are.
Do you think that Dustin was frightened of thunderstorms when the Cavalier was here?
No, because they'd hop in the same bed together.
I'm concerned about Dustin because, you know, A, his overreaction to what's going on out there, his intense vocalisation, he howls and he screams.
Yep.
He is probably one of the most distressed dogs I've ever seen. We know that the death of the Cavy was the start of it.
Yep.
That triggered the whole thing. Okay, because he was dependent on the Cavy to a very large degree.
Yeah.
Right? Cavy goes. I'm lost. I watched the picture that's fixed on your television now, which is a camera shot of this backyard. When you look at it, what does it look like to you?
Oh, he probably thinks it's jail. I don't know.
That's the word.
Okay.
Jail. Now, we've got a major problem here that is a separation anxiety situation, compounded, I think, by a major insecurity problem. So how do we fix it? Well, a couple of ways. But it wouldn't melt in his mouth. I mean, you know, he's for all intents and purposes a very normal dog right now, isn't he?
Yep.
So, from a practical point of view, yes, we're going to put him on some medication. You're going to help by giving him a reasonably high level of vitamin B complex in his diet. Just buy that at the supermarket. But above and beyond all of those things, I want to give him a window to the world. I want him to be able to see outside of this courtyard area. And so I have a mate by the name of Sean, and he's going to cut some holes in the fence. And he's going to put some mesh or guard over those so that little Dustin can see out. There we go. That's Dustin's window on the world. Well, actually, it's just a window to next door at the moment, OK? Hopefully, when we put one in the front fence, it'll be a window to the world. Allows him to make contact with the dog next door, see what's going on, opens, if you like, this whole area up. That's important. So how do we encourage him to use that when he's been frightened by the fence, of the fence, everything to do with the fence? How do we get him to go there? Well, a bit of cheese can sometimes work wonders. So once he gets used to that, and it's safe, kids can't put their fingers in because there's fine mesh in there, the dog next door will use that area too. And I think that will help a lot.
Yep.
But we have to deal with the dog's emotional stresses. And without medication, there's no way we're going to do that. I'll talk to your local vet. We'll come up with an action plan for the right sort of medication. I think you're well prepared. I really do.
Good.
This isn't your fault. This is something that your dog has. Anxiety. But we can overcome it. Get on the right track. You're going to do the right thing. You're good people. Catch you later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dog Harry.